Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. We're getting ready to make a pineapple upside down cake, and this is going to be an old-fashioned pineapple upside down cake. First thing to do is to melt 1 stick of butter in a cast iron skillet if you've got it. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this a little better. Then I'm going to sprinkle in 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Just sprinkle it all in there. Now the burner is off now. I'm just going to let the skillet still sit here. Sprinkle that all in. Okay. Now I've got a 20-ounce can of sliced pineapple, and I'm going to drain that. Then I'm going to position the pineapple all around in the skillet. And again, this is the old-fashioned way of making pineapple upside down cake. And I think this became popular probably in the early 50s. And we started having pineapple in abundance, I think, probably after the Second World War. All right, now I've actually got 3 pieces left. And that will make great pineapple sandwiches. All you have to do is put mayonnaise on 2 slices of bread, put the pineapple in, and it's delicious. And we'll be drinking the pineapple juice. All right, so that takes care of the pineapple part and the butter and all that. All right, now we're ready to mix up our cake. We'll position this so you can see. All right, there you go, right there. Now I have 1 stick of butter at room temperature. It's softened. 2 eggs, and they're at room temperature also. 3/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1½ cups of self-rising flour. Now this has already got the leavening in it, and it's also already got salt in it. You want to make sure that you sift it first and then measure it. Again, that's 1½ cups and 1/2 cup of whole milk. All right, we're getting ready to mix this up now. Pour the sugar in with the butter. I'm going to need a little spatula. And I'm going to go ahead and put my eggs right in. That's 2 large eggs. Now, I'm going to do some mixing with this, and it'll probably take 3 or 4 minutes because I'm going to mix it for a long time with the eggs, butter, and eggs until they get really good and creamed, and I'll be back. All right, I have mixed this up till it's light and fluffy and a real light lemony color. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whoops, a little more never hurt, okay? I'm going to mix this up for just a second. Okay, now we're ready to add the flour, and we're going to do that alternately with the milk. And you can just do this with a spatula. So I'm going to put about 1/3 of the flour in. Again, mixing that up just with the spatula. Now I'm going to use a little of the milk, about 1/2 of it. Again, still with the spatula. Now a little more flour. And this is a very, very rich cake. And it's one that is really best served warm. Right, now I'm going to use the remainder of the milk. And notice I begin and end with flour on this. And it's just a technique of making cakes that's kind of time tested over many years, and That's just the way to do it, okay? All right, I'm going to add the balance of the flour now. And you see that this is almost as quick. It might even be as quick as using a cake mix. And this is really just about a half a recipe of just a regular sheet cake or just a regular layer cake. All right, now I'm ready to use my mixer, and I'm only going to use it for just a little while. We're done. All right, now all there is to it is to dump it into the skillet over the pineapple. Let me zoom in on that so you can see. Now my skillet is still a little warm from where I melted the butter. All right, we're going to dump it right in over top of that pineapple butter and brown sugar mixture. Some of that butter will probably squish up on the sides, but that's okay. That will make it even better. Again, this is a very rich cake. Just kind of spread it out. And don't worry that some of the butter comes up over the cake, because that's just going to make it all the better. All right, now it's ready to go in the oven. And again, this is the old-fashioned pineapple upside down cake. So I'm going to put this in the oven at about 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook it for about 30 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, I have just removed the cake from the oven, and what I'm going to do is take a little knife, just kind of go around the edges, make sure nothing's going to stick there, and letting it just sit here for just a few seconds. And now this is a real trick, okay? You have to be really careful because of course this skillet, including the handle, is very hot. So I'm going to take it very quickly and plop it right down. This is a pizza pan and I've just kind of lined it with some parchment paper. All right, wish me luck. Here goes. Okay. Came out pretty good. Now one of the little pineapples stuck, so all you have to do is just take a little fork and put it right back in place. There you have it. Now, this is a very, very rich cake, very rich, and it is really good serving it hot or really warm, okay? So, and normally we just slice it so each piece with a piece of pineapple on it is a slice, okay? So you just kind of cut around each one. All right, I'm going to put my skillet in the sink. Now, remember your skillet handle will be hot too, so you definitely, use something to pick that up with. I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these and show you what it looks like. Just going to cut around a piece of pineapple. So you'll have 6, 7 pieces. And just take a spatula, go up under it, and there it is. Pretty, isn't it? All right. Again, this is one very rich cake, and this is the original recipe for the pineapple upside down cake, and I know there are many other versions, but this is the one my mother and my grandmother fixed in the 1950s, early 1950s. All right, see you next time. All right, here's the recipe for the old-fashioned pineapple upside down cake. 20-ounce can of sliced pineapple, 1 stick of butter, and 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. You want to melt that butter in the skillet and sprinkle the brown sugar in, and then place the pineapple there. Then for the cake, here's the recipe for that. 1 stick of butter at room temperature or softened, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, or 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. That won't hurt a thing. 1½ cups of sifted self-rising flour, 1/2 cup of whole milk, and you want to mix that up. First mix the butter, eggs, and the sugar, and mix that a whole lot with your electric mixer. And then you want to add your other ingredients to that, the flour and the milk alternately. And then you want to bake it at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes or until it's done. And then while it's still hot, turn it out on a plate or a flat surface, and serve it warm is best. Again, let me let you look at the recipe again. There you go. Now I fixed this in a cast iron skillet because that's what my grandmother and my mother used, and that's what they were told to do in the 1950s. All right, see you next time.